All right, we are on air. It is June 1st. Happy June, everybody. New month. This meeting is to talk about community outreach for Backdrops UMass. We'll start with an update on our website, which we've been trying to revamp to help tell a better story about Backdrop for people who are interested in learning about it. So we've got two major issues that we think will help with outreach. We're trying to redo the homepage. And we're trying to add a showcase section so people can see sites that are currently using Backdrop. Wes, you've been doing a bunch of work on the new homepage redesign and all of the other stuff that ends up going along with that. Do you want to give us an update on that?
Sure. So I made a lot of progress over the weekend and sent an email to you and Nate. So yeah, it sounds like for the most part it's going in the right direction. Then we talked a lot about the news section and maybe getting designer help on that. I made it look different because I thought it needed some love, but I just took a quick stab at it. So it's not really particularly great. So the things I'd like to get done before we launch this new homepage and theme, I'd like to make the download. My dog. I'd like to make the download Backdrop page, which I think we had pretty good content for in my original mock-up. We'll just have to adapt some of the design stuff. And same thing with tryout Backdrop. I wanted to get that done. And then also right underneath the header, the hero, there's a why use Backdrop CMS from the old site, and the new design we were looking at doing like a tabbed thing. So I'd like to get that done because what's currently there just doesn't fit in, and I don't see a great way to make it fit in.
So we have the content type set up, but I think we might need direction from you on what the view should do in order to get that tab thing working. Do you have any recommendations on whether that should be like an unordered list with a bunch of custom view stuff, or if there's like a view style plugin that you can use that you think might be a good fit? Just how to get that built.
I think unordered list would be fine. Yeah, we could just make it look pretty standard if just a listing of those things if JavaScript isn't enabled, and if it is, I can write JavaScript that makes it all tabby and cool.
Okay.
As long as the title is the title, which will become the tab, is easily recognizable for me, like if it's an H3 or has a class or something.
Okay. I think Tom wrote all the content.
Excellent.
So that should be ready to go. We just need to build the view and then figure out how to get it to look right. So I don't know in terms of like theme versus configuration where you want to build the view, if you want to have it on the whole live site, or if you want to build it on your site. Oh, were you able to get the new database? You were.
Huh?
You were able to get the new database download?
Oh, not from when I asked this Saturday. I haven't updated it yet. Okay. So next time I get a chance to work on it, which should be this weekend, I should be able to update the database and see if anything breaks.
Okay. Well, that should have the content in it that you need to build the view. So if you want to build the view this weekend, that is an option.
Yeah.
So why don't we try that, and then if you run into any problems or like don't like the way the content is or something, we can kick it back to Tom and get it reworked. I think he only did like 3 or 4 items, but that should be enough to start with.
Yeah, I think anywhere between 3 and 5 is going to work great.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else. Without the showcase, the there's like the free and open source and get involved, and then underneath that there's news and learn how to use Backdrop. Showcase broke that up, and now that it's not there, it's like so I don't. If you're talking to the designer about the news section or anything, that might be something to be like, hey, real quick, what do you recommend? Since these are now touching, it looks not as good.
Is there a way we can build the showcase view without having links to the showcase? Because we have all the content, we just don't have the section. But that might be a good like placeholder thing where we're like, we can build a view and put a screenshot in there for now.
I mean, if we have a link, if we have a link to the site that the showcase is of, we could just link to the, and that could be a good stopgap.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, that sounds great.
Oh, and the other thing was, I think we should shorten our nav one way or another. The one idea was an add-ons drop down, or the other thing we could do, I was looking at it, was like maybe put log out in like a different nav. There were some mocks where like there's a very tippy top bar that had like the avatar and like your login status.
I think that's where it's supposed to be, even on the final design. We just didn't do that now because it was easier to do it this way. It was already in the old menu, so it's
yeah, the only problem with adding an add-ons menu link is we'll want an add-ons page because we can't, at least right now, if we add a menu item that isn't actually a link, it breaks the responsive navigation.
Yeah, I think that's fine. We probably need an add-ons page anyway. We just need to figure out like how to properly introduce modules, themes, and layouts, and display it. So I think it's a perfectly fine ticket would be like create an add-ons page, and then we can like debate about what it should look like and stuff.
Sure.
I also like the idea of adding an add-ons menu link because there's also been a lot of discussion in reorganizing Backdrop's internal menu to move modules, themes, and layouts, in particular the installer, under an add-ons top-level link. And I think having that kind of consistency in terminology in both places is going to be good for, if people use it on the main website for a while and then Backdrop 2 contains that kind of change, they'll already be familiar with what an add-on is.
Yeah, and I think that would help talking to the mentees I've been training, like, seeing modules, themes, and layout doesn't click necessarily, but if that was under add-ons, that would probably, I think, help.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it would be a win all around. So, good idea. Let's do it. If you can create a ticket under backtopcms.org just to build that page, I'm not sure we have one yet. I saw you mention it in the ticket, but that would be a good task for like commerce. I'm going to take on writing the copy for that.
What's the group? Backdrop
Ops.
Ops, that's right. Cool. Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay. Well, the next issue was showcase, but we kind of talked about a stopgap for that, which I think sounds great. I think in terms of getting that done, we have to build a landing page, but I think it would also be great if we could get some more content in there. I know I've talked to a couple people about sites they've done and tried to encourage them to add them in there, but generating the content is hard. I know I've got 2 sites I recently launched on Backup where I even have like screenshots of them on my computer and I'm not putting them in. So I can't be too hard on other people for not doing it. But yeah, I think this is a great way to just be like, here's 3, and then we can showcase those 3 until we have enough to be in a whole showcase. So I really like that. Okay. We also have kind of a bigger picture map if people are interested in our content strategy. You can find it in our backdropcms.org issue number 349 that talks about the kinds of stuff that we want to generate for people and what medium it should be delivered on, whether that's a blog post or a video or sent in a newsletter, or how those things can be joined together. Obviously, the more people we can get creating content, the better, because the more content we have and the more avenues that people can digest it, the better we'll be able to spread the word about Backdrop. So types of content, we're talking about sending a newsletter. We just released Backdrop 1.7. That newsletter should go out very soon, in half an hour or so, to announce to everybody that there is a new release that they can try and has new features. We also have another newsletter ready to go that's highlighting some of our recent blog posts. And we're trying to figure out a schedule date for that one, but I think that we're thinking around the end of June, and that way we'll break up notifications we're sending out to people in sort of a reasonable time frame. And then we've got a couple of great blog posts on the blog now. I know Tom is working on our community spotlight section. I put names of a couple of people I wanted to see recognized in that issue, which is 165. But if anyone else has any people they think we should highlight or thank, or just give them voice to share whatever it is they like about Backdrop or do with Backdrop, that would be great too. So definitely open for community input there. And then, yeah, if anyone, so another thing about our blog is that anyone who has a backdropcms.org account can create a blog post. And so I think after the last community outreach meeting, we created a page on backdropcms.org that contains publishing guidelines. So if anybody wants to write a blog post, just talked about like use an image and use headings to break up long strings of words and stuff like that. And then it talks about how after you create a blog post, it'll get scheduled, so it won't get published right away, but it will get reviewed. And some of our content reviewers might reach out to the creators and ask for minor updates if they feel it's necessary. But that is a public space for anybody to be able to share whatever they're working on for Backdrop if they want. So that's exciting. Other ways we can spread the word about Backdrop. We had an ongoing issue for a while about getting Backdrop information in places that aren't Backdrop places, so like not backdropcms.org. And somebody had a great recommendation about, I think it was Jeff, about getting a notification to go out in PHP Weekly. So there's like a little newsletter that goes to people who are interested in what's going on in the world of PHP. And last week it should have contained an announcement that Backdrop 1.7 was released. And they seemed really excited to hear about Backdrop stuff, and would continue to include updates with new versions of Backdrop in the future. So all we have to do is just send them an email before each release and say, hey, this release will happen on this date, and then they'll schedule to go out in the next weekly, which I think is really good for us. It'll help kind of reach the larger PHP community. If anyone else has other ideas about stuff like that, where we can sprinkle Backdrop news into the larger world of web developers, we're definitely all ears. Reaching out to the Drupal community is great, but there are other communities that could also benefit from knowing about Backdrop. So we have a couple of, speaking of Drupal community, a couple of Drupal community events coming up on the calendar where we're going to be doing Backdrop sessions and Backdrop trainings. The next two are this month in June, Drupal Camp Montreal and Drupal Camp Twin Cities. Both of those should have both the training and session. I think it will be a sprint in Twin Cities, not confirmed yet. But yeah, if you're interested in either of those, the events are posted on the backdropcms.org website. And if anyone else has events that they want to hear about Backdrop at, you can also add events to backdropcms.org if you have a Backdrop user account. So if you have an event you want to be a Backdrop friendly event, you can post it yourself. If you're attending an event, we would recommend that you talk to the event organizers before you post it on there, just to make sure that everybody's happy with it being on our website. Usually it's good, but it's good times. So is there anything else that we should talk about this week? Thoughts, ideas, concerns? Well, I think we have a lot to do in the world of outreach. It's definitely not something that our developers developers are very good at. I know it's hard for me to make myself do outreach stuff, but if we could get more people involved in the community, maybe who aren't developers, who have great ideas about marketing stuff or have ins in other communities that might be valuable, we're definitely always looking for help in this area. And it's a good place where there's a lot of little tasks that aren't involved huge time commitments or massive amounts of work from people can make a big difference. So definitely, if you're watching this video later and you want to help, this is a great area. That's all I have for today. So if you guys don't want to talk about anything else, let's wrap this meeting up and we can check in half an hour on development tasks.
Sounds good.
All right.
That's
Thanks for coming, guys.
All right. Talk to you guys soon.